Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Wednesday, January 24th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got NHL action tonight, the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Seattle Kraken. First puck drop is going to be here in just a moment as we're waiting for Carolina and Boston to wrap up. Hop in the room and join your boy. I got to finish up on some of the tags since it took me a little while to get the thumbnail all set up and situated. So I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. So let me just have some background music here for the time being, and then let me get these tags done really quick. And then once I get these done, then we should be able to get into the next matchup. Megan with a 20 to start us off on a very good note. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. $20, holla, 80 to go. I appreciate you very, very much. Just give me a one moment to be able to get some of the tags here, and then we should be good to go. So one sec. I got rushed a little bit, trying to go through some new player images, and some were successful, obviously on the Kraken side there with Jared McCann, and on the Blackhawks side, I still got to work on a few more. So I was kind of stuck with what I had, even though I tried a few other players, but it just wasn't, up to my standard as far as the player image. I don't want it to be shitty, so. All right, one sec here. This should only take me about a minute or two. Blackhawks and Kraken. Blackhawks versus Kraken. Blackhawks versus Kraken live. Blackhawks versus Kraken live stream. These are the things I got to do every single stream. Blackhawks versus Kraken live reactions. Blackhawks versus Kraken live play and reaction. And we gotta go Chicago Blackhawks, Seattle Kraken, defend the deep, release the Kraken. Chicago Blackhawks versus Seattle Kraken. Seattle Kraken live. I'm almost done. Live stream. And I think I got one last one. Chicago Blackhawks, Seattle Kraken. All right. That didn't take too long. Couple minutes. I apologize there. Carolina 3, Boston 2. Judah probably pulling his hair out right now, thinking, how the hell did we lose to Carolina at home? All right, make sure all the tags are lined up. Everything is good. All right. I think we're good to go. Apologize that took a little bit, but I do appreciate Megan coming in and showing mad love like she has been pretty much every single day that she can. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with little cactus jack. Bang, bang. And I still got a couple of photos that you sent me at the very end of the last stream that we can start off with once we go into like bands and music. And we kind of touched on a little Kurt Cobain and Nirvana and a lot of our favorites, with Brian May and whatever it may be. So let me know whenever, that you're wanting those, and I still have those on there as well for you. Well, we already knew Harbaugh more than likely was going to go to the NFL, and the Chargers were the number one fit. And, that'll definitely help Herbert's cause, depending on who he brings over on the staff. But one thing that it doesn't fix is the injury curse that they've had on defense and offense for many, many years. The last time they had a good coach was Marty Schottenheimer, when they ended up going 14-2, and then they fired him, in the playoffs after the playoffs were over. So the Chargers haven't been very good evaluating talent, but Michigan's program, even if they bring in the interim coach, that's fine. But recruiting is everything. So if you got to think, people went to Michigan because of who? The assistants, because of the M, because of the girls, because of the education. No, they went there because of Jim Harbaugh, because they knew if they ended up going there, they'd have a good chance to go to the NFL. Just like Ohio State with Ryan Day, Bama with Saban, but now we don't have that either. Kirby Smart with Georgia, Dan Lanning with Oregon. So this will definitely pull Michigan down a couple pegs. Will they still be really good? Yes. But Ohio State and Oregon are going to leapfrog them now, not only with the talent and the recruiting, and then that'll give Washington, USC, UCLA, Iowa, Wisconsin, Penn State, and all the other teams a little notch above, and they're going to get a little bit closer to Michigan. And I'm not saying, if they decide to hire the interim coach, yeah, he went 3-0, but is he a recruiter? He might have gotten 3 wins with Jim Harbaugh's guys, and maybe they like him, but is he going to recruit like Harbaugh? And the answer is hell no, they won't. So they're definitely going to be losing some 5-star, 6-star guys. They're going to be losing guys that committed to Harbaugh, and now Harbaugh's going to the Chargers that they're going to leave. So in essence, it sucks for Michigan. It's great for the Chargers, and it's good for everyone but Michigan in the Big Ten. So let's go. The usuals and Sid, I got you. $20, let's get to a hundo. All right, let's go. And like I said, I tried getting a few other photos on the Blackhawks side. Again, some of them are very hard to be able to, get formatted correctly. But, like I said, we know Bedard is going to be out for another 6 weeks or so. But at least I ended up getting a new Jared McCann that got me excited. At least I got that going. But I was trying to end up getting Philip Kurashev, who's got 8 goals and 16 assists. 8 goals and 16 assists for the Blackhawks. And I also tried getting Colin Blackwell, and I have to go through some more of the images. And he's got 3 goals and 2 assists in the past 10 games. So if I end up getting more Blackhawks, I'll probably go that particular route. But again, I want the image to look clean, so we got to go with Bedard. But we got a nice one there, Jared McCann, a new one. So we're definitely going to be adding more players on the Kraken side when we do Kraken games. So, and obviously, had Maddie, but he's, not obviously playing. So I got other options that I could use, but I got to use guys that are, most likely in the lineup. So, all right, let's get some photos up here. I appreciate you. Go, baby. I'm ready. We're going to get this dub tonight. Let's go. I just want us to be as full strength as possible. Tata, maybe some Tata sauce today. I hope so. Yorkie, our all-star. Eli Tolvanen will just start sprinkling out a lot of the players here. Even though we don't got done yet. Hey, I got to see a photo of him. Can't wait for him to be able to get back, baby. Let's go. We'll go Jaden. We'll go Kyler. And my favorite photo, Winter Classic Joey. Let's go, baby. Let me see if I can sprinkle in a couple Sidney Crosbys here for you as well. Oh, I will. I'm all over it. We got 11 minutes into puck drop since this game lasted a little bit longer, so about another 10 or 11 minutes. So that'll get me more time to get you some more photos. So I got you. Boom. It's good to know hockey facts, even basic stuff that you would assume other people would know. But there you go. Yeah, there's all kinds of rumors. We'll see what happens. Might just have to make a Sidney Crosby file. Might just have to do that. Nice. They got his mom on there on TNT. That's awesome. I got the Crosby file. I just got to start dumping stuff in here. So that way in the future, we can just click on that, and then we'll have like 50 options to go through. All right, let me delete some of these and get some room for some new ones. Matt in the building. What's good, brother? Yeah, well, the Crosby's going to end up being, a Mitchell and Ness jersey sooner than later. Him and Ovechkin, those are going to end up being throwback jerseys once they're, done playing for sure. Wenberg. Winter Classic, baby. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Mint chocolate chip. Beautiful. Select in the building. What's good? What's good, brother? How are you? Kraken are about to get started here in just a few minutes. Get some photos up. Anything that you guys want to discuss, just drop it in the chat. Anything that you want to see photo-wise, we'll take care of some of Megan's photos, and then we'll get into... You like that one photo that I found? That one was off a Kraken fan page in Canada. And so anytime I'll see random stuff, because I only follow the Seattle Kraken main Instagram and then the main Twitter/X, but there's always these other ones that are going to come up from other places, you know, either a Canada Kraken page or somewhere else. And sometimes they'll end up, you know, being from, you know, reporters or websites or blogs or vlogs. But anytime I see something that's like, you know, not the most common photo, or maybe like a press photo or an interview photo or something that they snapped earlier that day or recently, I'm definitely going to share it, you know, with some of y'all. And then I ended up finding that, and then I found some other stuff that I ended up sending with like Derek Thomas autograph stuff that I ended up sending to Cyberpunk and Odin, because they obviously have a big love for Derek Thomas. And you know, I ended up seeing some of that stuff. So anytime I end up seeing something that reminds me of you guys, I'll definitely send it to you guys. So, all right, let's see here. Let's see. And let's go back to last night when we were doing, since we have a couple minutes before, but here, I'll pull over the Kraken photo that I sent you, which is a nice one of the power pose. Speaking of, we got one kind of power pose here. And then obviously this is the one that I found through the other, which I think is it's like a good kind of interview photo as they're going and discussing, you know, who's injured, who's not, who's going to be playing, and you know the breakdown and you know what we're looking at schedule wise and where we want to go and where we're at right now. We still got a long ways to go if we want to get into the wild card. We're behind schedule right now, so we have an easy schedule the rest of the way out, but that doesn't mean that we can just take our foot off the gas. So like that photo right there. And then let's go over a couple of Megan's photos that she sent right before I dipped out. And then I'll go through the other two that you sent too. So we were doing like music and influences and whatnot. So let me delete some more of these photos so I can make some more room for others. But we might as well squeeze these in before the action starts, just to get all caught up. I always like being able to look at cool things that I don't own. And so we started off with this, and then we had the angle of this, and then there was two more photos that were set as I was kind of ending. I figured we'd start with that today. We don't forget about that stuff. We got a little collectible watch. Very cool. And then the artwork. Artwork is always fantastic. Yeah. I like that. Look how detailed they are, too. I love it. Got a nice little collection there. From one collector to another. I see you. Very cool. All right, let's make some more room with those since I only have so many images. They let me have, I think, 100 images that I can kind of go through. So those are those. I want to make sure we're not forgetting anything. And there's no shots of any ties or anything just yet. Yorkie, baby. Let's go. See if we can throw up a couple hacks and we'll go from there. Yeah, well, the last team that Harbaugh played for was the Chargers, and it made the most sense. But it still's not going to correct the injury curse that they have. But hopefully, they'll have the right people in, with Herbert and Eckler and Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and they need to beef up that O line and they need to beef up that defense. And stop worrying about guys that are big names and just get guys that don't get hurt. So that way you're not overpaying. It's like, yeah, you got the Joey Bosa. Yeah, you got the Khalil Mack, who actually had a fantastic year. You got Derwin James. You got Asante Samuel Jr. You got Keenan Allen. You got Mike Williams. You got Justin Herbert. You got Austin Eckler. That's all fine and dandy. But again, 4 guys on the offense and 3 or 4 guys on the defense. So you got, 8 guys out of, 22 starters? You need more than that. You need about 8, solid ones on offense and 8 solid ones on defense, or you're not going to be able to keep up with the good to, elite teams in the NFL. If you only have 3 or 4 on each side of the ball, and then those guys get hurt often, then you're actually going to be with less. You're only going to have maybe 1 or 2 on offense, 1 or 2 on defense, and then 8 or 9 kind of like average or below average players. No wonder they haven't been able to win in a long, long time. They don't have discipline. They haven't had good coaching. Anthony Lynn was garbage. Staley's garbage. Harbaugh is finally the best one they've had since Marty Schottenheimer. And maybe in 3 or 4 years, they can get that shit corrected. It's like a 5-year deal that was rumored, right? So it might take a couple years for them to be able to get it going. Hell, it might only take 1 year with Harbaugh's discipline, depending on who they can bring in. Maybe they'll get a little lucky with the injury bug, and then maybe we'll see the Chargers as a wild card team in year 1 or year 2 of Harbaugh's tenure, maybe with a 10-7 record. I don't see them going 13-4 or anything like that. The only way that's going to happen is if Harbaugh's the coach for like 10 years, and then by the time it gets to the 4th or 5th year, and they've been reloading, and then getting pieces to come in, then maybe, just maybe, they'll have a year where they win 11, 12, 13 games. But still, at this point, with the Chiefs and everything else in that division, there's a lot of improvement that needs to be had for sure. Let me turn off the music here. We'll go into a couple other things. Puck drop. Let's go. Yeah, they're very cool. I like them a lot. $20. Let's get to a hundo. All right, defend the deep, release the Kraken. No Connor Bedard, so no excuses here. We need to take advantage of this easy schedule the rest of the way out because we're still a few games behind the wild card pace. There's quite a few teams ahead of us. So, it's not like it's out of reach, but if we go on a couple more extended losing streaks, we're not going to make it. So, really from here on out, a few games before the All-Star break, and then we'll see if we make any moves. And then after, we need to be on point where we're winning, I would say probably like 70% of the games the rest of the way. You're going to have to be able to make up some ground. So hopefully they can. And then hopefully we can get the last wild card spot, but it's going to be very, very difficult. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Wednesday night. And then again, we're going to do hockey tomorrow. Let's look at the schedule. Maybe Devils and Hurricanes tomorrow is what I'm thinking is what we're gonna do. So that'll be at 4:30, and then on Friday we got the Blues and the Kraken, and then earlier before that will be the Golden Knights and the Rangers, which I'll keep tabs on. But then we'll do Blues and Kraken at 7 p.m. and then tomorrow we'll do the Devils for Odin Sun and Aiden at 4:30, and then on Saturday we'll do the WWE pay per view. Sunday AFC NFC Championship game. So it's crazy, right? So if you like look at them statistically speaking, sometimes things are better than what they seem. But again, every single year, injuries, and a lot of just bonehead mistakes. So it's like, but if you watch the games, they could be in the top third for defensive, for passing and rushing. But when you watch the games, it doesn't feel like it. They feel like they're in the bottom three, or the bottom third. They don't look very good when you watch them. Like when you go against the Chargers, it's like you're going to be able to put up close to 20 to 30 points. So maybe when Harbaugh gets in there and they can tighten some things up, get rid of some maybe bad pieces or old pieces, and then kind of retool everything, and then maybe we can actually see a top 10 offense and a top 15 defense. And then eventually, hopefully the Chargers can get top 10 offense, top 10 defense. And it's not just a statistic. It's like when we watch it, we believe it, because it's like, to me, even with statistical, categories, checking off the boxes, to me, the Charger defense has been one of the worst for I don't know how many years. It's like if you got him in fantasy and you're playing the Charger D, you're like, okay, I'm starting all my guys. I mean, that's kind of how it typically goes. Now, every once in a while, you'll get a splash guy like a Khalil Mack that might get you 10, 15, 18 sack lunches, but that doesn't mean that they're, helping people on the back end with Derwin James if he's not out there. And they need Derwin and Asante Samuel Jr. And it just seems like they never have all of them at the same time. Like, when's the last time you've seen Bosa, Khalil Mack, Derwin James, Asante Samuel Jr. all play in the same game, the whole game? They might start the game, but they don't finish the game altogether. At least that's what it seems like in a lot of the games that I've seen. Yeah. And the guys are getting older. You know what I mean? It's like Keenan Allen didn't help me beat you. When I wanted to use him, there were certain guys that I was banking on there at the very end, and and when you don't even have an option, and especially if the quarterback goes out, you have to realize how important those pieces are. When you're relying on a player, you have to have a good quarterback to throw to your elite wide receiver. And if Jared Goff goes down or Herbert goes down and it's the backup, then those guys have literally no value anymore because unless they have a backup quarterback that actually can throw the football and get him the ball. But going from Justin Herbert, even if he's injured or shaky, and then going from a guy that normally would be like a 9 or a 10, you feel confident. And then if Herbert's hurt, maybe it's still like a 7, 7.5, but you feel you could still get fantasy points. Then you go to Easton Stick, and you're like, I can't even play this guy. It's like there's no way you're even going to get him the ball. So what's the point of it? You can't even play him. So you get a guy that's a top 5 receiver to basically irrelevant. Just a piece on the bench collecting dust. So. But we will see. We will see if Keenan Allen will have more. But also, too, if Keenan Allen can stay healthier than some of these other guys, they may still end up getting the rock a lot. Because what are the chances of all those guys staying healthy? They never stay healthy. So at some point, it might be Keenan Allen. At some point, it might be Mike Williams again. But it seems like a lot of their guys are injury prone. And that's not a good thing to, have labeled as your team is injury prone. And not only that, you're injury prone with like jobber players, mid-level players, and shitty players, but your elite, guys that your dogs, the guys that you need, they're the ones that are critically getting hurt at the worst times, and some of them are, season ending, and you can't recover from that. So, big facts. Judah in the building. What's good? Less than 5 minutes to go. or less. 5 minutes past here in the first period, 0-0. 3 shots on goal for the Blackhawks, 2 for the Kraken. Let's go. Tough game there, Judah. Tough one against Carolina. Amber in the building. What's good? How are you? He said, got to pop in and say hi before I go to sleep. Appreciate that. Yeah, we'll be doing wrestling on Saturday, and then we'll end up doing some AFC, NFC championship game on Sunday. Don't know where you're going to be, Amber, but if you can stop by, towards the weekend, if you have some free time, please do. Reflect with a tenor. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. Hawks in the building representing well like they always do. I appreciate that. Let me know what you guys want to do for photos once we get into the commercial breaks, and I got you. Appreciate you too. Oh, there we go. Kraken 1, Blackhawks 0. There we go. Yes, sir. Jared McCann, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, you get on the thumb with a new image, right? Boom shakalaka, goal right away. Electric start. Jared McCann, baby. Yes. Nice job, Jared. You got to be able to have other guys step up when, certain guys are injured. So, hell yeah. Kyler. I love it when we can get off to an early start, too. Set the tone. Let's go, baby. Make sure you're taking care of your mental health. We'll improve it here better than any other channel. I'll tell you that. I'll take care of you guys. You take care of me. I'll take care of you. I appreciate you guys. Let's go. Let's go. Bowie loves it. 1-0 Kraken. Especially getting a goal in the first 5 shots. Not that, typical for the Kraken in every game. It happens from time to time. But you know what? We'll take it. Drop that anchor. Defend the deep. Seattle Kraken, baby. Let's go. Hell yeah. Yes, we do. I hope you feel better soon. I know how that goes. No, I'm looking. I haven't seen him yet, but I imagine once we get into a commercial break, I'll be able to let you know. Passing has been crisp by the Kraken, but of course, if you don't have Connor Bedard out there, he's not going to be, I feel, as impactful like maybe Crosby and Ovechkin was like right away. It's like LeBron is on the court and those guys were on the ice and you just had a feeling they were going to score almost every single game. With Connor Bedard, he could lead in points and in goals and assists because obviously we know the Blackhawks are one of the worst teams in the NHL because that's how they ended up getting Bedard. But even when Bedard is in, it seems like he's kind of still learning, going through the motions. He's not as dominant in every single period as maybe those other legends were when they first came in. But I can't wait to be able to see when he comes back in about 6 weeks to see what he can do and add on to his stat total in his rookie year. And it was unfortunate that we ended up, doing the live stream when he ended up breaking his jaw. And then that was the matchup where we ended up seeing the most fights in any game in 2024 so far. Ooh, good save. Let's go, baby. 1-0 Kraken. Jared McCann, baby. Good job, Jared. And then reflect. What do you want to see, brother? You let me know. It could be Seahawk related, anything that you want, bro. Not JT in the building, Amber in the building, Megan in the building, Matt in the building, Sarah in the building. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well. And again, if you're struggling a little bit, show up. Come here. We'll make things a little bit better for you, guaranteed. Three Chiefs fans that froze to death together? I did not hear about that. And if there's anything else game-wise that I need to be watching, just let me know, and I'll flip it on. Whether that's on the NBA side or on the NHL side. I mean, they'll, obviously wanting to kind of creep up on Boston for Judah. So, and we'll end up doing a Boston game for you, Judah, at some point or another. We'll figure out when the Kraken have a day off, and then if there's an opportunity for us to do a Boston game, I'm definitely down to do a Boston game. I mean, I'm always going to sprinkle in, the Vegas Golden Knights, the Colorado Avalanche, the Dallas Stars, the New Jersey Devils. Might as well do a Boston Bruins here and there, especially if there's, not a whole lot going on in that particular day. So we're at 30. Let's get to a hundo. Oh, baby, 2-0 Kraken, just like that. Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jaden Schwartz. That was deflected. Assist by Andre Burakovsky and Vince Dunn. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice job, Jaden. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. We're on it. We're on it today. Going from McCann to Schwartz. Schwartzy, baby. Yes, sir. 2-0 Kraken. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, baby. Drop that anchor, baby. Yes, sir. What a start. What a start before the Kraken game started. And we're only not even halfway through the first period. 7 shots on goal, right? And we got 2 goals out of 7 shots. I like that. Let's go. Electric start, baby. Yes. Good stuff. So what do you got? What have you been reading on? I know you're always reading on something. Reflect. What have you been reading on? What's going on with, the Hawks or with the Huskies? I know there's something that you or your son or something that you have gotten passed over in the last couple of days. Any other information, any good articles, anything else on the coaching hires or any other good articles that you can send me to read? I'm always looking to be able to, get up on as much information. That's pretty much all I do. Spend time with Paisley and, catch up on some shows, but sometimes, my focus will be on my phone or on the computer also while I'm like watching something and I'm reading and trying to, or watching film and just trying to get, as much caught up as I can, and rumors are rumors, but sometimes it's just good to have good articles. And so that way you have a better understanding of people and coaches and players and situations. It looked like he was gonna initially, was gonna enter the portal, and then I saw a couple things about him, but it didn't really go into a lot of specifics. So is he staying? Is that what they said? He changed his mind and he just is gonna stay there with Fish? My buddy's got me a message about the Blazers. We don't really talk too much about the Blazers because we suck. We're like one of the bottom 5 teams in the NBA. But anytime the Blazers actually do something kind of good, I'll get a message from him because I know he watches every game. We won 137, 131 over the crappy Rockets in OT, but I'll take it. We are terrible. 13 and 31 for the Blazers. Golly, that's terrible. John in the building. What's good? All right, we're at 10. Let's get to 20. Well, I don't think he was mad. He was going to go. He wasn't going to follow the coach to Bama because he wouldn't have been able to play. He would have had to decide, like, okay, I'm going to go somewhere else where I might actually have a chance to play because that was the whole point of him leaving his initial school is going to Washington and potentially being the starter for them next year. So 7 shots on goal for the Kraken, 6 for the Blackhawks. Less than 10 minutes to go in the first period. Chicago has a power play here with about a minute 30 and some change. 5-on-4 for the Blackhawks here. Come on, Kraken. Don't give up anything. Nice save. And remember, half of the fan base that typically is going to be here is under 40, and the other half is going to be over 40. So remember that too when you're talking to people, in the room. We don't need to have a combo with 2 over 40s battling it out. All right, we're all trying to have a good time here. It's one thing when we end up getting young kids in here, or we get trolls, or we get people. All right, we can all get along in this room. RELAX, baby. I don't think a lot of y'all realize how old everyone is in the room. Sometimes people think they're talking to kids and whatnot, or younger fans in the room, but it's not. A lot of the people that people think are under 40 are actually over 40. Or if you think someone is like under 30 or under 25, they might end up being 55 or 45. So remember that too when you're talking to people in the room. Let's keep it civil. 8:43 left. 2-0 Kraken. Ooh, getting chippy there. Nice save by Joey. Let's go. 30 seconds left in the power play. Good save. All right, full strength. Let's go. All right, less than 7 minutes to go in the first period. 12 shots on goal for the Blackhawks, but Joey Decord has done a great job. This could be an opportunity for a game where we only give up 2 goals or less. It'd be really sweet if we could end up getting a shutout to kind of get our momentum back and our confidence back. And like I said, it would just be nice to be able to go from a loss to a win and go win, loss, instead of just a bunch of wins or a bunch of losses in a row. But that's kind of the story of the Kraken as of late. It just seems like we're on these streaks of really long wins or a long losing streak. And that could be mentally tough on anybody, not only the coach, with Hack, but with the players. It wears on them with the travel and also us fans too. So. But being back home and having an easier schedule the rest of the way out, one of the top 5 easiest, we should be able to take advantage. But again, if we have guys that are injured or we're not on point, we could definitely lose games, for example, like this, to the Blackhawks, even though they're down Connor Bedard and a few guys. So we want to make sure that we're hitting early and often, taking advantage of the power play. And we also want to make sure we have nice, crisp passing, so that way we have a good chance. Nice fucking save there by Joey. Amazing replay. Let's go. Jaden getting us going early. Jared McCann as well. Let's go. Yeah, but I went back and I did some more research and whatnot and was looking at the records and looking at the schedule. The Kraken actually had one of the hardest schedules out of all the NHL teams, so no wonder we've been playing shitty. It's like we were already kind of injured and playing shitty as it was, but we had a pretty tough schedule, a pretty tough road trip, one after another. So it's like, if you can't battle that early on, you got to pray that the schedule lightens up at the end instead of having an easy schedule early on, and all of a sudden we're feeling really good about ourselves, and then taking a big nosedive like the Eagles did when they were 10-1, and then just took a big nosedive. And even though they made it, they got obliterated at the end of the season. So, even though that the schedule was tough, I thought we didn't do as good as we should have, but at least that we weren't like at a point where we were 10 games below 500 or something like that. We're at a point now where we're kind of hovering over 500 or a game or 2 over, but now we need to be able to get to a point where we can consistently stay over 4 games above 500 to keep pace with the other teams that are fighting for the wild card. And if we're able to do that, then I think that we'll have a chance. But as we're sitting right now, it's not looking great. But again, a couple win streaks here, got an easy schedule here this week, an easy schedule there. Other teams that are ahead of us got harder schedules as the All-Star break after we get past that point. So I think we are going to be able to level up, and we are going to be able to move up in the standings as long as we don't have any significant season-ending injuries and as long as we're good in net. And then we'll see eventually Grew back in net with Joey Decord, and then hopefully everyone will be healthy at that point. We'll get Maddie back, and we'll just see how we look as we get past that All-Star break. Let's go. But these are games right here that you can't afford to lose. I mean, if you end up dropping games like this, when they already are 14, 31, 31, 2. It's like you got to make sure that you're taking advantage of the bottom feeders, and you can't let them beat you. And not only that, you can't let them beat you in your building. So I'm hoping that we'll. All right, Turbo. You can always look at like a couple guys that that are very, very quick to throw the gloves down. Let's go. Colorado up 3-0 against Washington. Good thing we didn't do that game. Kraken. Man, I can't wait for baseball. I can't wait for other things to start coming through. NASCAR, MLB. Can't wait. Sad. College football's over. NFL. I mean, we got 3 games left. That's it. AFC, NFC championship games, Super Bowl, and then it's right back to ground zero. The draft, the combine, and then it was bitching and moaning for 6 or 7 months, wanting football to come back. But at least on this channel and then with me, I got my daily dose of football in. There's going to be a lot of people that, in about a month or two, they're going to be like, damn it, I should have watched, more of those games. Instead of going off and doing, this or watching Netflix, maybe I should have watched a few more of those Thursday night games or Monday night games. And we already know some of the Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night stuff is a travesty and it's terrible. But there was some pretty good matchups throughout the year too, and I can't wait to see what we end up getting. But more than likely, it will be a Ravens-Niners Super Bowl. I would be very shocked if we don't get that. But you never know. Not hockey until April. And baseball starts off. I mean, we're going to get some quote-unquote preseason baseball, Cactus League, and the other different leagues that we have, Grapefruit. So it'll be starting in late February, all of March. And so we'll be able to kind of teeter back and forth between the NHL and some baseball. And Hack has got the blue tie, and it's got like little designs on it. He's got the dark blue, and then I couldn't tell what it had on there, like little birds or whatever, like a little how like ties have those little designs on them. So it had a bunch of little designs on it. I couldn't see what it was, but he's rocking the dark blue. So I'm not sure if that's one of our good colors or one of our lucky colors, but he's matching pretty much the color scheme of the jerseys they're wearing at home, and hell, it's working for us. I'll take it. 2-0. Maybe if they'll do a little close-up, I can zoom in, but I mean, he looked good. He was leaning over, talking to the guys there. It's working, 2-0, so. Yeah. And then I'll definitely be doing, quite a bit, of the Cactus and the Grapefruit League. I'll be doing Little Dodgers for my dad. We'll definitely do Mariners. And then if there's other good matchups, Cardinals for Sarah, or some Braves for some people on the channel. I mean, we'll maybe some Padres for Elliot. So pretty much, if I know that people have a love for a team, chances are I'm going to go out of my way to do some games for them. If it just doesn't so happen they line up playing against the Dodgers or Mariners, and we end up doing a game that way. So I'm excited though. Yeah, I wish the Mariners were able to spend some money and whatnot, but, it is what it is. I'm still going to watch the games. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to games because I usually try to go to 2 or 3, and I do a road trip with my buddy Justin for, our birthdays. But now with me having Paisley, full-time, I don't really have anyone to watch her. She, pretty much is by my side 24/7, sleeps in the room here, with me, and it's like I don't know if I feel comfortable anyone really watching her, other than me, especially if we're going to be gone for a day or two. So unless I just go up to Seattle for a game and then we drive back, or if we, have a situation where I can have, her watched for a day, but I don't know if I would want to have her watched by more than that because she's very high maintenance and needs to be walked. And, she's, 55, 60 pounds. So she's pretty strong. And, it's like for certain dogs like that, for American Staffordshires, pitties or any type of dog, I mean, that is kind of a little bit more high maintenance. You really got to do, you really got to pay attention. You just can't turn your back on a dog like that. You got to make sure you're giving it attention and love and making sure that they're not, nibbling on things and destroying blankets and comforters and whatnot, because dogs like that will act up if you ignore them. Oh, there's the goal. 2-1, right past Joey. Blackhawks. Wow. Joey Anderson with the tip in, assisted by Seth Jones and Jason Dickinson. All right, Joey. We finally get to use your logo here, huh? It's a cool one. Ooh, okay. See if I can find a good one to Joey. All right, Kraken. Come on, Joey. Stay strong here in this first period. All right, Joey. I see you. I'll rep you. We're not haters here. Nice little tip in there. 2-1 Kraken. Good thing we ended up getting those 2 goals early. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I put a lot of effort and time, and I don't have any children of my own, only that fur baby, but like I've never felt this type of love in my heart, ever before. Um, like I said, it's like when you have this love and appreciation for it, whether it be a child or you're raising a stepchild, or if you have a cat or a dog and you're raising it from the very beginning stages or very early on, and you actually care. It's an amazing feeling. It's like it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort, but the more love you put in, the more love you get in return. And it's been an amazing 720 in my life, from living with a toxic a girlfriend, and with her kid as well, and just all that negativity, and pretty much Paisley the only one really positive in my life at that point. And then being able to rescue her from a bad situation where she would have never been walked, she would have been overfed. She would have been miserable, not loved, not paid attention to, not played with. Probably depressed because if I'm not there. So I'm just really happy that I was able to get her. And then not only that, but to do this regimen of an hour and a half of walking 7 days a week. I might have to tag Nike in a photo of me and Paisley and see if they can do something. But I would really like to see if they have some type of technology or some kind of shoe that they can design or make for someone that is going to be walking, because from these other people that I see that are like runners and people that walk, a lot of these people are only doing about a half hour 5 days a week. I'm doing an hour and a half every day 7 days a week. So I need to be able to have a shoe that's not going to break down and wear out, like especially if I'm spending 160 on like some Vapor Maxes or Hokas or whatever. I can't have my shoe end up being destroyed from being outside after like a month and a half or 2 months, especially if they're going to be $100 to $200 every time I have to get them. Unless donos get better and I can afford to get something like that. But I've only had my Vapor Maxes. They were like 160, 170. I've only had them for a couple months and they're already wore out. You know what I mean? And like I said, yeah, I'll be walking in some areas of fields and mud, and in the elements and the water and the snow and the sleet, and the ice. But no, most of the time it's just going to be on the concrete, unless we're going through like cutting through a forest or whatnot. But I was amazed. I've never had a shoe And it's a good quality shoe. It ain't no like crap shoe. I mean, it's one of the higher end Vapor Maxes, except it doesn't have the air bubble from the beginning, from the front of the shoe to the back. This one is kind of just towards the back end of it. Very comfortable, but again, I might have to tag them and see because as far as I know, they don't have a shoe on the market from Nike or Hoka or any company that can withstand an hour and a half, 7 days a week. And so I need to be able to see if they're, I don't know if that just means some kind of new technology on the bottom of the shoe, because obviously they have shoes now for like running and walking where they're more breathable, where the slits on the shoe itself are breathable. So it's like almost like a sock, and it's like, so it breathes well and whatnot. And then you have different designs on it, air bubbles or not. But, the bottom of that shoe, there has to be some kind of better material that they've been experimenting with or something that's going to last longer with the elements. And I would love for Nike to be able to make something for people out here in the Pacific Northwest that are going to be hardcore with their, dedication and to be able to try to put in that much type of effort and energy with her. But again, she was like 20 pounds overweight. And in reality, to have a dog lose 20 pounds is like a human losing 50 to 100. And coincidentally, I ended up losing about 60, 70 pounds myself. So not only did it help my mental health, it helped Paisley's as well. And, now I'm at the skinniest weight that I think I've ever been since my 20s. This is the first time I've been under 200, in 20, 25 years. And, no fast food, no beer, no liquor, no soda. Monster energy drink, which is probably the most unhealthy thing that I'm doing, but I need something. I don't do coffee. And then, just trying to eat as healthy as I can. And it definitely, do I crave pizza and tacos and spaghetti and all those good things? Of course I do. You know what I mean? But I think it's basically who you are and who you surround yourself around. And the better people you surround yourself around, the better that you're going to be. And if you're around toxic people all the time, it's hard to get have your mind be clear and to be in a better state of mind. So, and I've always put Paisley first, no matter what. And it just feels good knowing that all that hard work and energy that I put in and, giving her less snacks and more fresh fruit, as long as she's healthy and she's happy, that's all that matters to me. So, and I appreciate that. I mean, if you go back and look at those tubby pictures of her on my Instagram, when it was like last year in like December, January, where she looks like she's almost like 80, 90 pounds. And then now I got her down to, 55 pounds. I mean, it's a dramatic difference. And yeah, and she's she loves adventure. She loves to, like, a lot of times, like, the communication that I have with her, I've never felt like in sync with like an animal or a human, that often. And it's like I feel like we're like connected, and like I'll say, all right, which way do we want to go? I'll let you decide, and then once in a while, I'll let her decide, and then we'll end up going off somewhere that we've never been before, and it makes a good adventure. Whether it's rain, snow, sleet, it doesn't matter. We're going to get out there. We're going to get poured on. She doesn't, complain or moan or bark or whine. We just go out there and we get it done. So. Yeah, I hear you. Yep, yep, that's true. Yeah, and then like I said, when I got, her washed, I really take the time, to wash her with like everything that the dog groomer has at this location. So I see other people that only use one shampoo when they have like seven. I'm like, hell no. It's like, dude, if I got access to all of these, I'm gonna wash her 3 or 4 times, and then if they're doing the nail trim and the Dremel, and they do that on their end, but if I'm gonna wash her, I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna, get every part, make sure that she's good, especially if we're only doing that like once a month or once or twice a month. Because every trip to the groomer, it's like 35 bucks. On top of, me trying to get her teeth, with the powder, that's another $35 a month. Food is like 80 bucks a month. So it's like, I got to work really, really hard here just to be able to make sure I can get my bills and stuff taken care of, and then make sure that she's being taken care of on the best level that, if that means that I get less for me, like, I don't need hoodies or shirts or, another Hot Wheel or a bobblehead. What's important is her. So as long as she's good, that's really what matters with me. So and then eventually I can always try to get something for myself. But I mean, I've been collecting toys and memorabilia since I was 5. I'm 41. I have plenty of things in boxes. If I need something brand new, I can go somewhere, garage or one of these other locations, and I can open up a box and it's Christmas all over again. So, all right, we're at 30. Let's get to a hundo. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and I don't know, like I was looking at Hoka's and some of the stuff, and some of them are expensive, but a lot of like the marathon runners and the cross country walkers and runners, like they ride or die for those. So I'm thinking, that my next pair, I'm gonna maybe tag Nike and see if they have any recommendations through, once I tag them on like Twitter X and write a little blurb. If I can get anyone to respond back to me from Nike, it would be pretty cool to see if they have a recommendation on what they would recommend as far as a Nike shoe. And price is not an issue. I mean, I would not really want to pay 200 to 250, but if I knew that if I paid it and then it was going to last longer than some of these other shoes that are 150, I wouldn't mind doing it. It's just that I can't afford, to pay 160 to 260 every time, knowing that if I'm walking that much and then the shoe, no matter what it is, a brand or a cost, is going to get worn out. Because the thing is, it's like I can't get Hoka's for $80. The Hoka's, the good ones, are going to be the same price as the Vapor Maxes. You're going to be paying like 160. So yeah, that's a lot of money. But again, I want to make sure that hopefully they have something like an all-terrain shoe, that is stylish, comfortable, all black, and then air bubble or not, but then that bottom grip. I've seen crazy ones with the Hoka's for like ones that they have for when you do trail runs, and they're almost like little mini cleats that have things that stick out of the bottom of the shoe. I was not aware that they go that crazy with running shoes and walking shoes and marathon shoes and cross country shoes and shoes for people that live like in the Pacific Northwest, where they show people running in the mountains and on trails, and they got like these little connectors on the bottom for like grip that stick in the shoe, and you can like adjust them and whatnot. So my mind was blown after looking at some of that type of stuff. But um, I mean, but like again, I'm doing an hour and a half, 7 days a week. I don't take any breaks with Paisley because she needs to get out in the morning, 6, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., then at the afternoon around noon to 2, and then late at night after the stream is over. And it's for my mental health and her, but, it doesn't matter, what the weather is. We just got to get out there and get it done. So if you guys have any recommendations on anything like that, but I doubt that any of y'all are as crazy as me, walking or running that much. But if you've ever had a shoe that would, that you think that would work for me, yeah, definitely hit me up on here or on Instagram or on socials, and then I'll do some more research and whatnot. But it'd be really cool if I could end up having something like that. 4-0 abs. Yeah, and then like I said, when I first heard of like the Hokas and stuff, I knew that it was going to be a pretty good shoe. But I think most people that are normally Nike, Adidas, or maybe they wore Reebok back in the day, they see Hoka for like 160, and they see Nikes or Adidas. They're not going to buy that unless you are like a runner and you already know that is the shoe. But the cool thing that I did notice about some of the Hokas, they have like the lift like going up in the shoe, and then the back of the shoe. So the shoe is already curved for like running and walking and whatnot. So I thought that was a kind of a cool technology. So it's like even when you're walking, you already have like an advantage based off like the shape of it. It kind of has like an angle to it where there's a dip in the front and the back of the shoe. Never owned a pair, but I'm thinking that depending on how Nike responds to me, if I end up tagging them in a little post to see if they have anything, because I'm not sure if there's anything out there that is on the market for someone that walks an hour and a half, 7 days a week. Because they were saying a normal shoe will wear between 200 and 500 miles. So you're going to have to replace a shoe if you walk 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. That shoe will wear out in a couple months. Within like 2 to 3 months or 3 to 6 months. Depending on how up to date you are with that. And I'm thinking to myself, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Shit, I'm doing an hour and a half, 7 days. So what that would mean, instead of a shoe for me normally lasting 6 months, I might only have a shoe that lasts me like 2 or 3. And then unless as long as there's no hole at the bottom, I'm good. But I want to make sure that it's not like ripped apart and whatnot. So Ryan in the building, what's good, brother? Sad to hear about that situation for you. Hopefully you can find something a little bit better. Really? Good for you, dude. 10Ks? Dude, that's awesome. Send me a photo, or send me a text message, or whatever. You got a picture of the shoe. I don't know if you have them anymore. I'm not sure if you still have them now or anything like that, but I'll look that up. I've heard of that particular shoe. Maybe not that exact model, but I'm trying to turn into like this cross country walker runner, because most of the time when I get shoes, they're going to be like basketball shoes. But I started going away from Jordans a long time ago, and then I started to go towards more style and comfort, more like with Vapor Maxes, with the full air bubble or the half air bubble. But now it's like, man, I need to be able to find something that's going to last if I'm going to be out there. I don't need to show off. I'm just out there in the elements with Paisley. So hell, it'd be cool if I could get shoes custom made for Paisley. Get her some little socks, little booties, and then get her some fucking some custom Nike shoes for the dog. I'd pay for them. If they were going to be legit and they weren't hurting her feet. I still need to get her a jacket too, and we're out there in the elements. Oh, North Face has shoes? I did not know that. I mean, I got like a jacket, type stuff. Wow, that's crazy. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. 2-1 Kraken, baby. Hart Trophy race. Quinn Hughes, Nathan McKinnon, Austin Matthews, and Nikita Kucherov. Good hire. Is that exactly what they need? They need discipline. I am curious to see like how far Michigan is going to drop down, though. Because again, losing Harbaugh, that's the only reason that people were going to Michigan, anyways, unless you just wanted to go there to try to beat Ohio State. So. But at least they, climbed the top of the mountain. Michigan is a champion, the first one that wasn't an SEC team in many, many years. So that was a cool thing to see. It would have been really cool to see, if he was able to be like the next Nick Saban and whatnot. But, if you already climbed that mountain and you want to be able to see if you can climb the mountain on the NFL side, that's one thing that's eluded him. So, and it wouldn't surprise me, if he gets a championship on the NFL side before he retires. It may take a while, and you may go a couple years, without making the playoffs, and maybe you go 10-7 in a wild card year one. Maybe it takes a couple years, but if he's able to stay there for the 4 or 5 year period, it's going to be the best that your team has looked up to that point in many, many years. And it's the best coach that you guys have had since Marty Schottenheimer. So finally, you're getting something correct, there as far as the head coach. But again, you're going to have good coordinators to help him out. And then you still got the injury curse that you have to get past too. So. North Face Men's Ultra 111 Waterproof Trail Running Shoe. I'm going to have to check it out. I'm going to have to check all those out. Plus, also, too, it's like I don't want to get a shoe that's like white, because if I'm out in the elements, it's just going to get destroyed after me going out one day. It's like it's got to be like gray, light gray, dark gray, but preferably black. That's what I would particularly want. It can have different colors on it, but I'm not trying to like show off when I'm out there in the elements with Paisley. I mean, shit, sometimes we're out there and it's pitch black. So it's like I just need something that is stylish, looks good, feels good, and that can last me walking an hour and a half, 7 days a week. So, all right, start of the second period. 2-1 Kraken. I don't know. I think a lot of shoes also too, it's like, oh, there we go. Right out of the gates. Yeah, Burakovsky. 3-1 Kraken. But it's like, nice job, Andre. I feel that some shoes, like the Air Force Ones or the Jordans, it's just a name, but they're not comfortable. It's like I like the Jordan leathers, like the Jordan 11s where they have the leather around them. There's a few Jordans that I like. But again, a lot of them are not comfortable. Like they're just not. You're buying it because of the Jordan name, the Jordan brand, and Jordan equals excellence and greatness. But as far as the comfort level, I would rather go with a Nike Vapor Max shoe over a Jordan any day. Until the day Jordan starts implementing air bubbles in their shoes, then I'll go and get one. But if they don't end up ever having any air bubbles that are visual, like the Vapor Maxes in their shoes, I'm never going to buy a pair of Jordans the rest of my life unless I buy the ones that I had when I was a kid, like the 11s, original black on black leather with the red Chicago Bull bottoms, or the white with the black leather with the North Carolina blue bottoms. Those are the only Jordans that I would buy, or a variation of, like a remix of that shoe, if they had made like a newer version. But other than that, that's really the only one that I love. All the other ones to me are kind of ugly or they're not that comfortable, Like you're paying $200, $250, for a shoe that is not fucking comfortable, that hurt your feet, But I guess girls do that too with heels and name brand things, with red bottoms and whatnot. So sometimes you got to sacrifice the the comfort for the look or the brand, but I think once you get to a certain age, it's like you've already gone that route, in your teens and your 20s. And then once you hit like 30, yeah, you can still have some of these shoes that are like swaggy, but also it's like having something that looks good, but then also that has that comfort level too. Wow. Good save. Nice job, Andre. 3-1 Kraken. Let's go. Nice job, Bowie. Bowie loves it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Drop that anchor, baby. Yes, sir. Kraken. Let's go. They're dark gray. Oh, those would work then. Oh, REI shop. Now you got me going to like places that I haven't seen before. New Balance, Fresh Foam, Hero, V7 trail running shoes, men. Wow, those ones look like they're like a hunting shoe. They got like the yellow and the green and the brown. They definitely look like a Northwest type of shoe. I'm not sure about that first initial colored one because it's got a lot of like the brown and the dark yellow. It like it kind of looks like a kind of like a hunting shoe, a hunting running shoe where they have a baby. Like a hunting boot and like a running shoe had a baby. That's what you get that with that New Balance. But they have a couple other color schemes there with deep olive green black. That's a little, and then the black and the reflection. They're a little bit more. Oh, not bad. And I wear a size 10, so interesting. Thank you for sending that. Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I guess if I were to buy something that looked like a hunting, like running shoe, like that has like kind of oddball colors, then I would have to match something. I would have to get like some sweats to match or a hoodie that has like a similar color. So at least when I'm out there, that I'm not wearing like a bunch of green apple, duck stuff or Mariners or whatever, and then all of a sudden I got these like oddball, shoes, and it's like I don't have to match. You know what I mean? But again, if it's going to be that different compared to anything I have in my wardrobe, at least you want to have something where it looks like it kind of matches to some degree. So yeah, I don't really feet sweat that much. And like I said, a lot of the Vapor Maxes they have like the holes on the top of the shoe for breathability, so it's like almost impossible for you to sweat in those shoes because it just evaporates. The holes are big enough on the shoe itself where which is good and bad because it's like if you go into a puddle, like the water is going to get onto your sock, and whatnot to a certain degree, but the breathability is good. Oh, nice check into the boards. I love it. Now you guys are sending me all these things. Zappos.com. Never heard of this. New Balance Fresh from X Zero X. I think I read a report because I was reading because I'm a nerd, right? So I'm always reading like top 10 walking shoes, top 10 running shoes, top 10 blah blah blah, and I'm always like going articles and through these people, and I try to find people that are actually like runners or people that are actually going out there and doing this, so that way I can. Now some of these ones are the colors are a little bit better, the style. Wow. We got that one with like orange and red and black. And some of them are more like soft colors where it's like hunting or camo, or greens, or it's kind of like a softer vibe. And then, or the tans, they kind of remind me of like Vans and um, not the actual shoe itself, but the colors. Like if you used to, I never wore Vans, but a lot of my friends did, for like skater shoes, and they would always have like certain colors of like the tans and the greens, where it was just kind of like the flowing skater colors. You know what I mean? And then normally, other running shoes, they're either going to be super super bright, with the pinks and the blues and the purples and things like that. But yeah, cool. I'll have to go through those. Thank you for sending that. See, I like it. You guys, living out here in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, like, I never thought, when I was younger that I would be addicted, to walking and exercising, but I am. Like, when I don't, get out there with Paisley, I feel off. And I don't even listen to music anymore because I just listen to nature and I just, make sure I'm paying attention to Paisley. So I'll find other time for my music. And I used to listen to like Ozzy and Red Hot Chili Peppers or maybe like E40 or something, just depending on my mood. But now it's like I leave the earbuds and stuff, and I just go out there and enjoy nature with her. And then I just try to get music at other times. But I usually have music inside the house, like stuff from like the '60s or the '70s, like old stuff. It's good for the soul. Are those the one that you have right now with the yellow? So it's like white and green with like the paint marks on the bottom, and then they're like kind of dark black, and then a gray, light gray. The end is white gray, and then the shoelaces are kind of orange, and it looks like it's got a little orange on the bottom. Those are the ones you have. I think I could rock those. Hell, only $80 over regular price of 140. Like I could see myself wearing those shoes. Like those ones are probably the most colorful and to my style. You know, the blue purple ones are not really my style. I think, and then you got the ones that are like the red and the black, and they got the orange end. Those ones are kind of like Buccaneer Blazer like look. But I think I like the one that you bought. I think that's my favorite one out of all of them. I like that color combination the best. The duck looking colors. Yeah. Yeah. I like those. Like I said, you have good taste, dude. I think those ones, I mean, it doesn't have like any green apple laces or anything like that, but and it's crazy like how shoes have come a long ways from back in the day. Like back in the day, things were very simplistic. Black, black, black with white laces, white shoe with black laces. Now you're starting to get shoes that might have six different colors on the shoe. The tongue is one color, the laces are a color, the bottom of the shoe is a different color. On the side of the shoe, there might be five colors. Like things have definitely advanced on the shoe game in the last 20 years compared to what it was. That's for sure. You got the wide foot. Okay. I don't got the wide foot. I've had a size 10, 10 and a half since I was like seventh grade and whatnot. So, we won't tell. But they don't really look like duck colors, really. You know what I mean? There's orange and stuff on there. Like if the ducks and the beavers had a baby, then maybe that's what the shoe looks like. Yeah. 3-1 Kraken. Thank you for sending me those. I'll have to check these out. Now, obviously, I don't have the money, to do any of this right now. But obviously, Paisley and the bills and everything come first. But if I'm going to be out there, in the elements, I mean, this is going to be important, something that I actually need and I'll actually be using. And then if I find something that I really like, maybe I'll buy two pairs of it. But usually, I'll just try it and then maybe experiment with another brand and until I end up finding like like the love of my life in a shoe. So yeah. Because I mean, obviously, with that shoe, it's got that orange on there. So, and the green isn't really a duck's green; it's a different green. And then the orange is kind of like a yellow orange. Got all kinds of colors on it. the bottoms look like? Let me look. Oh wow, look at the pattern on the bottoms. What do you think about the bottoms there with the those fresh foam heroes? You like that? The way that they have that traction on those bottoms? I was just about to say, what the hell did the bottoms look like? That's interesting. Almost like two cookie cutters, and then they have little traction bits inside the cookie cutters. Interesting. I kind of like it. $30. Let's get to a hundo. 70 to go. Have you seen any of those things or those videos of those guys that have trail shoes? I was blown away. Like they're like cleats. Like some of these guys that like they have like prong things that like you can either flip up or they hang down. Um, they're really cool looking, but I don't know how those would last if you're walking on concrete. Like the trail shoes are made for only trail. Like if you start walking on like concrete in other areas, then the grip and the area in the shoe is meant for just trail. So I guess if you're a hardcore walker or runner, then you have to have specific trail shoes that you only wear for the trail. But they're awesome. I've seen a couple of them. I'm like, ooh, these are kind of stylish and they look cool on the bottom, with the traction and whatnot. Reflect with the 20. So I'm going to try to help him try to get some shoes one day. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack, maybe for some Hokas or something. Bang, bang. $20 holla. Appreciate you, man. Maddie's going to be back on the weekend. Good. Paisley just came in here. He says, I miss Daddy. 3-1 Kraken. 16 shots on goal for Chicago. 15 for the Kraken, but 3 goals out of 15. Let's go. Last one by Alex Wenbig. Andre Burakovsky. They had him, and then Larson with the assist. Initially, they had Andre, and then they made it to Wenberg. 3-1 Kraken, less than 10 minutes to go in the second period. Brooks, Hoka's, New Balance, and Asics. Yeah. I was reading on some other stuff as far as like doctors are concerned. Like Hoka's usually are towards the top as far as making sure, as far as a foot doctor is concerned, and also the way that the technology that they have. Like some stuff on the Hoka's, it seems like they're a little bit more advanced than the other brands. It's like they're putting in a little bit more time and effort with the materials and the shape. And I'm always looking for like new wave, something different, that they got going on. And I'm not saying that the Brooks. I've seen some Brooks ones that are nice, and the New Balance and the Asics and whatnot. So I guess it just depends on color, style, performance. But my main thing is going to be comfort and how quick the bottoms wear out. So it might not matter if I'm walking in an hour and a half, 7 days a week, regardless if I have Hoka's, Brooks, New Balance, or Asics, or whatever, or Nikes, or Adidas. Like they may all end up just wearing out at the same time. So I appreciate you. Next year on the Hall of Fame ballot, Ichiro. Oh, baby. And Felix Hernandez. That'd be sweet. Crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I wish Ichiro was still playing. My brother. Is it baseball yet? Let's go. Can't wait. Shoe fun. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Each reflect with the 50s. Like, I need to make sure he gets some shoes. He's going to actually need them. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. $50 dono. Thank you so much. Hopefully, I'll be able to get some shoes like next month and whatnot. And at that time, I'm gonna do a lot of research. So the more information that you can send me, whether it's Judah or Reflect or anyone that kind of has that similar type of shoe or that you bought in the past or you got some info, yeah, send that to me because I'm gonna continue to do some more research. But as soon as I get them next month, when I end up getting them, I'll definitely I'll show them here on the stream for sure. Appreciate you, man. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Help O-Dog get some more shoes so he can stay on track. Bang, bang. Thank you. I appreciate you very, very much. Yeah, they got first games for Cactus League or the preseason of baseball is like February like 22nd with like the Dodgers. So pretty soon we're gonna start seeing some of the preseason baseball, and I'm definitely down to do some games, just to give us some variety. Like I'll always we'll do NHL and MLB back and forth, and then obviously WWE once a month. Every once in a while, maybe we'll do a NASCAR if I feel that we can get the proper people there. But if I'm not going to be able to get the proper people and we can't hit goal, then I'm not going to do NASCAR. I have to be able to have a certain amount of people, and we have to at least hit goal or at least get half of goal while I'm doing races. Because if not, then it's not going to be worth our time. It's like I love meeting people like Mike, in a place like that, but it just doesn't make sense, as far as statistically and time, that if we're going to be putting in 3, 4, 5 hours and then we're hitting, $5 and barely anybody showing up, it's just, we would be much better off doing NHL or doing MLB at that point. But, I do have hopes on trying to do some NASCAR because I think some would be fun, but I guess it all depends on who shows up and who supports, and we kind of go from there. But I'm not, just like axing it. I'd rather do NASCAR than the NBA until we get to the playoffs. So let's try to get to two. New Balance. Yeah, I mean, you let me know, man. You keep sending me information, through socials and text message, and then. But I do like those ones that you had. I'm looking at them right now. Those Fresh Form X Hero V7s, and I think I ended up seeing something talking about those exact shoes. It's funny too because a lot of people made fun of people that would wear like Asics, it's like the lawnmower shoe. Like my dad or any other dad. Back in like the 80s or 90s, they had to put on their Asics or their New Balance, and like it was just kind of like the shoe that you mowed your lawn with, type of thing. But now, with Reebok, kind of in the background, even though they have like Iverson and Shaq trying to bring it back, it's been Nike and Adidas. But then now you're starting to get these other companies that are catering to the people that are walking and running, and also getting people to give them a chance, maybe that they wouldn't have. Because a lot of people are just Nike, Adidas, that's it. And that's kind of me, but I'm definitely intrigued on trying to go into a different like path in my life. And I can't wait to see what I end up getting. But I definitely like the one that you sent me, though. It's not about how many followers you have, okay? It doesn't matter how many people that you have. It's about being able to express yourself, right? It's pretty much on Twitter/X. You're talking to yourself, and then every once in a while, someone will talk back. You know, I'll always like all of your stuff, right? And like I said, just because you have people that follow you doesn't mean that they're going to like any of your posts. So again, it's not, if you're trying to get interactions with people that actually care, sometimes that number doesn't matter. Sometimes having the smaller number with people that interact, if you got 10 followers, but 3 of them always interact, that's a hell of a lot better than some people that have hundreds that have no one following them or, reposting or retweeting or liking any of their shit, so remember that. No, don't worry, man. I'm just glad that you're safe. And when you have ice and you have snow and you have weather that's crazy, it's very easy to get in an accident or drift off the road. And that's an unfortunate situation there. But I know you'll be able to find another job sooner than later. And we always appreciate you here on the channel, man. Anything I can do to lift up, any type of feeling that you have, I got you, bro. Odin in the building. What's good, my guy? How are you? The out of all the shoes that I've looked at, and like in that color scheme, you got the best one with those orange yellow laces, and then the black and gray, then the green with the paint splash with the white. Now it would have for me, I would have rather had no white on the bottom of that with the paint splatter. Make all of that like green, at the bottom or gray and black. Like I don't even need the white at all there, because obviously that's going to pick up the dirt and whatnot. But I like the multicolors on there, and the white is just kind of on the side of the shoe, and then the bottom has got the green, and then the orange, and got the little cookie cutters on the bottom, and then for the grip. But out of all those New Balances, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you have the best taste. That's the best one out of the 10 by a landslide. I don't even think I would buy any of the other colors except for that one. That's the only one that looks good. Um, they got the blue purple one, and that's got kind of a wild purple and orange on the bottom. That one would probably be my second one right there. You got the best one, and then that blue purple one, bluish purple. That kind of got a kind of a Mariner kind of Kraken kind of vibe to it. I like that one too. Yeah, it sucks, Odin. I was able to find on a few people, they were posting full matches of like Omega, Brian Danielson, Okada, and a couple nights ago, I sent a couple of them to Sarah, but they're MJF and like Brian Danielson, but there was like a guy that was actually posting full pay-per-view matches on there, like HD 4K, like 45 minutes, hour, matches on there. I don't know if his shit got taken down, but he had like a night where he posted like 3 or 4 of them. Really awesome, especially on some of them. I didn't actually order the pay-per-view, so I haven't even seen the match. But those are little things that I wanted to send you. Or if I see any Vader or Bam Bam Bigelow, I always try to send you. And then I saw some of those Derek Thomas autos that I sent you and I sent Cyber. Pretty cool. Yeah. You went for durability, comfort, and fit, but you obviously have a little bit of style too because that was the best color out of all the colors out of the 10 by a landslide. That like I looked at all of them and I'm like, okay, what can I wear with what clothes that I have? And and then like I said, if you're outside, you're outside. But again, if you're gonna spend 80 to 160 or 80 to 200 on a pair of shoes, you don't want them to be like ugly. Like you want them to at least be kind of like somewhat stylish. It's more about the comfort, and then also, can you wear it with other things and whatnot? But You got a good eye, my guy. I appreciate that. That'll be the goal, hopefully, to get some new shoes by next month. Seriously, right? Like I'm looking at some of the colors. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I mean, all right. I mean, I guess I'm like, I mean, I get it. You're like doing this like running shoe, but it's like some of the colors are. Oh, and then the other one that's good too is that first one. Uh, the one that you got, the purple one is the third best, and then the first one, the black reflection one. Those would probably be the ones that I would buy first or second because it's got black on gray laces. It's black and gray, and then white with the gray paint splatter, and then on the bottom, I don't know if it even shows me the bottom of it of that one. Got the NB on the one side, and then it got the N on the other. But I like those black reflection ones. I was like, oh, okay. And then the one that you have, concrete vintage teal. That's what yours are called. I like them. 3-1 Kraken, Seattle power play. Less than 5 minutes to go. 3-1 Kraken. I appreciate you. Let me know what you want to do for photos. But to the shoe fund, I appreciate it. Because literally everything for me is going to be for Paisley. I very rarely am going to be able to get something, and even this is not like, oh, let me show off for my friends or let me make some posts on Instagram or whatever. It's like bottom line, it's going to be just for exercising every day and hoping that they don't break and that they don't fall apart, if I'm going to be out in the elements. So, yeah. Plus the places that I walk, I'm gonna have shade. There's gonna be parks. At the old location, I had that river that was close to my place that I could go under the bridge, and then I would follow a trail, and I'd be right on the fishing bank. So we would walk there, which was only like 5 or 10 minutes from my place, and then go throughout the neighborhoods and whatnot. But now I have all this different neighborhood area that I can explore, and there's a few parks that I go to that I balled when I was a kid, where I played basketball. So I always try to go to all the parks that I played at as a kid to kind of, I should probably bring a basketball with me and whatnot so I can shoot hoops a little bit with Paisley while I'm there. But super nostalgic, when you go back to like your childhood home and you go back to the parks that you used to, spend, all day, all night, years at a few of these places. And it's just cool to see what they look like now. And obviously they're not being used for basketball anymore. Like I barely see anybody there at them, but very, very cool. Like at this one place at Cooper Park, it's like down the road from my house, maybe about 10 or 15 minutes. But it's got like this heavenly like opening with these big, big trees on both sides, but only like one in behind the basket and one on the opposite side. So like the sun like beams down, so you can like look up and you feel like you're like a god or like it's like oh like you feel like the sun rays coming through the branches, and it's just I don't know, it's just like kind of a spiritual feeling and whatnot, especially when you go there early in the morning and whatnot. But it was cool to be able to kind of rekindle those memories and whatnot. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm excited to get into this portion of my life. It's like you get older and you start to have different interests, and you start to expand, who you are as a human. And I'm very excited to be able to get into this kind of cross country runner walker mentality. Yeah, but I'm thinking, it'll probably be Hoka's, New Balance, or ASIC, depending on what I research, color, and obviously if there's some new technology. And the technology is going to be on the Hoka side. The shape of the shoe, has a curve in the front and a curve in the back, so it's like you're rocking. Tanev Turbo, baby, let's go. 4-1 Kraken, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice job, Brandon. We're rolling. Turbo. Nice job, Turbo. Let's go, Kraken. Let's go, Brandon. Go beat the shit out of somebody. Let's go. Yeah, baby. Turbo, turbo. Dumoulin with the assist. 4-1 Kraken. I love it, man. So much better than doing games at the early of the season when we were just getting our ass kicked all the time. Now we're actually winning games and the schedule's easier. Let's go. Nice job, Turbo. You're the man. Nice job, Tanner. Dumoulin with the assist, anti-Cartier. Let's go, baby. Oh, let's go. Turbo, baby. Love it, love it, love it. That beats up on his own brother. He's feisty. I like when we have Turbo and Dunn. You know, it's like enforcers, on the team. You need those tough guys. And especially if you can get tough guys that can score goals once in a while, too, even better. He said it won't be Yay Kraken Friday because you're a Blues fan. Well, we're going to do the game. So let's go. Connor Bedard, he'll be back in about 6 weeks. And obviously, we know Chicago is going to be going through a lot of the ups and the downs. But hey, we already had plenty of losses early in the year. Oh, there's Grubauer, just chilling. Good to see him. But yeah, Friday we're doing that matchup, so we'll do tomorrow. Open up everything here. So tomorrow we're gonna do Devils and Hurricanes at 4:30. I mean, it's like Blackhawks, Oilers, no. Blue Jackets, Flames, no. Predators, Wild, no. Ducks, Stars, I wouldn't mind doing that, but the Ducks are not good enough for the Stars, and as Stars will mollywop them. Devils and Hurricanes could go either way, so I think that's the best one. Coyotes and the Lightning, Flyers and Red Wings, Bruins and Senators at 4, and then Islanders and Canadiens. So one of these days we'll get something for Judah, but we'll go for a better opponent than the Senators for Boston. So we'll do Devils Hurricanes tomorrow. Then we're going to do Blues and Kraken on Friday night, and then WWE pay-per-view Saturday, AFC NFC Championship on Sunday, baby. Kurt Angle coming to Heroes Hideout in March. Are you going to go? Lucha Bros? Nice. Dude, good for you. Like I said, once you start putting yourself into a pattern, you get addicted to that. Like I said, I never thought I would be, walking an hour and a half, 7 days a week for 6 months straight for the rest of my life. But that's how it's going to be as long as I have Paisley. I'm going to continue to, push myself. But it never really was that difficult. It's like, you just have to get to a point knowing that the pup needs it, and of course I need it too, but it's her is the priority. So and then the weight started falling off. I started eating better, not drinking the way that I was drinking, and it's like to go from 260 270 to 195 to 200 is crazy. So it's just if you love something and you put in the effort, you will get results. It's just hard to be able to start and then stay with it. You have to have motivation, and you have to be consistent. You have to have a discipline. And a lot of people don't have the discipline. to do it. So, but I try to show you guys, discipline is hard, but if you are dedicated, you can do it. Just like I do this on the channel and how I take care of her. So, oh, you should get Mick Foley to sign the hardcore title. Absolutely. You kidding me? 4-1 Kraken as we go to the second intermission. Hell yeah. Go Kraken. Kraken beating the Blues. It's going to be tough. I'm looking forward to that matchup. And you guys are up 2-1 right now on Vancouver. Nice job. 3-1. Four-one Kraken, baby. All right, to reflect, what do you want to do for photos? Let me know what you want to do. I'm going to go get a drink, and then let me know what you guys want to do for the photos, and I got you. Sometimes it's those little wins, and just finding time to get some fresh air or just to feel good. And sometimes there's certain things that in a busy schedule that people take for granted, and you want to make sure you're taking care of your mind and your body, especially when you're in your 20s and your 30s, and then once you get past 30, and you're 40 and up. You really got to make sure you're going the extra mile to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to live as long. That's just the bottom line. You got to make sure that you're putting in that effort. Let's go, baby. All right, no problem. Defend it. Release it. I'm hitting you guys with all the music. Background music, it gives me on the default 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 choices. Normally I only use 2, but might as well click on some of the other ones and They only have one rock, and all the rest are kind of just like different beats of night driving and kind of poppy stuff. This one's an acoustic cinematic. It's kind of more of like a mellow vibe. I'm gonna go get something to drink here real quick. And then let me know what you want to do, Reflect. I got you. If you want some Seahawks, you want whatever you're thinking, I got you. Let me go get my drink here real quick. 4-1 Kraken. One more period to go. Let's go. All good, brother. All right, Reflect, what do you want to do for photos? Got this little jump off here for you. Zach Taylor, head coach of the Bengals. Sean McVay, head coach of the Rams. Howie Roseman, GM for the Eagles. So something for you to be able to read there. figured we can do a little Huskies and a little Seattle, and then we can do Kraken if you'd like to. But I figured something that's more relatable for you. This is going to be a part of your life now. Keep that up there for a second so you can read all of the quotes. I don't get graphics like this that come up that often, but I was like, ooh, this is cool. That's a really, I mean, look who's actually making these comments, you know. Roseman is very respected. McVay is one of the top two with play calling with Shanahan. And then Zach Taylor has come a long way when we thought maybe he would get fired, you know, before they ended up having their Super Bowl run. And it seems like he has a job at Cincinnati for quite some time, too. We might as well do something that's dear to your heart, you know. Kraken is Kraken, but for you, you know, obviously with the Hawks and the Huskies, it's a little bit higher on your priority level. So I have plenty of Kraken photos that I'm going to drop in at any point, but we want to make sure if we have intermission here that we take care of you. Plus, you know, it was the last year of the Pac-12, and I think it was much more enjoyable for you and for me with the Ducks and the Huskies, and just the love that I got for Penix. And it was a very special year. Like, I usually I'm not going to connect with that strongly with a rival fan of another fan base, whether it be Beavers or Cougs or Huskies, but. We found a very good friendship and a very good common ground of not trying to be biased and just appreciate, you know, the greatness of where it's at, whether it's on my side or your side. And it was fun. You know, even though I wanted to, win the fantasy championship, and I know I will eventually next year or the year after, but I felt it was fitting that you won this year. So we can learn things from each other on how the elites get it done. I might be the only Oregon fan that wants them to do well, but again, it's, some people are only about their players and their team, and that's it. So. I got a brand new one of Rome that I haven't showed you. Nice photo. Yeah, but when you're a fan of the game, it's like you can really enjoy things more. You enjoy life more, and you enjoy more games than just your own. If I was just an Oregon Duck guy and said fuck everybody else, and I couldn't enjoy Huskies or Cougars or or USC or whoever, it's like I need to be able to evaluate the talent that's coming in to the NFL. So that's my favorite thing to do. So. It should be Oregon or Ohio State, winning the Big Ten next year. I hope it's Oregon right out of the gates. Especially with the loss of Harbaugh, You know, there's going to be a little bit more wiggle room for Penn State and Iowa and UCLA and Washington and USC, but it looks like it's going to be Oregon and Ohio State at the top for the next few years. I would be shocked if it's not one of those two teams at the top. I love lefties, so doesn't matter where the lefty is on Oregon sideline or not. If it's a lefty and it's different and it's unusual, yeah, I'm going to pay attention. And then now we get our lefty of our own with Dylan Gabriel. That's crazy. Sports gods really do listen. Yeah, and even though, Sarah, even though Iowa may never win a Big Ten championship anytime in the near future, at least you guys develop really good college players that turn into good pros, and we're going to have another Caucasian corner, the last since Jason Sehorn, playing in the NFL next year. So that's a pretty amazing feat when you can have someone that's not a brother. You know, I mean, you got Christian Gonzalez, and obviously, you know, being multi-race and whatnot, you know, there, but to actually have a guy that's white, you know, Caucasian white to play corner is not something that you see every day. And not only that, he's actually one of the best, you know, in college football, or maybe one of the best corners overall. So hopefully he can continue that success, not only in Iowa, but he can even be better than Jason Sehorn was when he was playing for the Giants. So pretty cool. I mean, you guys always have offensive linemen and tight ends also, but that's pretty cool. I'll be watching for sure. And who knows, maybe the Tampa Bay Bucks might draft him. Who knows where he goes? Yeah. But also, too, you have to understand recruiting. Moore is not going to recruit like Harbaugh. Just because Moore gets the job, it's not the same type of vibe as Antonio Pierce getting the Raiders job. You know what I mean? Like, Moore did a good job filling in. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, how good of a recruiter is Moore? Is he going to be able to get those 50-50 guys to come to Michigan? Or are they going to go to Ohio State or somewhere else? And realistically, a lot of people are going to pass on him, and they're going to go somewhere else until they figure out how good he is, and if he'll get fired after a year or two, or if they're trying to get a big name to fill the shoes. You know, if you can get like an Urban Meyer type of name there at Michigan, that's what they might need to be able to be relevant again. Because if you remember, before Harbaugh was there, Michigan really wasn't a whole lot of anything. You know, like, you got to be able to have a very dynamic, big name and a good recruiter. You know, and like I said, with Harbaugh gone, and with obviously, you know, Nick Saban gone, you know, it's like, how many guys do we have really considered top of the line now? You know, really, honestly, we got Ryan Day at Ohio State, we got Dan Lanning at Oregon, Kirby Smart at Georgia. And then what else? Texas, you know, with Sarkisian, and then, you know, I mean, there's not a whole lot that's out there right now. Let's hope Michael Penix Jr. goes to a team that has a line. I just want more lefties in the NFL. It'll be more exciting that way. And I want a lefty better than Tua. I don't think that's asking too much. You know, like, better than Vic. You know, better than Tua. You know, maybe not as good as Steve Young, but anything that we can get close to Steve Young, that's what I'm about. That's what I want. All right, we're in the third period now. Let's go. Woo! I hit you with that white too. Woo-hoo-hoo! That's going to be a year, even though you didn't end up, completing the natty. I mean, how hard is it to win a natty, no matter what? It's like, it's very difficult. Oregon, Washington, USC, we're all going to have chances at some point or another, but, there's nothing to hang your head about. And like I said, hopefully Michael Penix Jr. ends up having a fantastic career. And like I said, I'm in that same boat, we've been to natties against Auburn and Ohio State. We haven't been able to get it done either. So, but again, it'll be a part of our legacy and a part of the Pac-10, Pac-12 legacy forever. So, all right, baby, 4-1 Kraken. We got one last period here. Hope you enjoyed those photos. Yeah, and we'll have to wait and see who ends up being a better quarterback. Is Caleb and Drake May and a lot of these guys at the top going to be the best ones? Or is it going to be someone like Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, or someone that goes a little bit lower, Thank you for donating to my shoe fund. I was really shocked to look at the bottom of the shoes. But again, I've never walked that much in my life, but I was really shocked to see how much wear from a shoe that I just had from a couple months ago. I was like, dude, this shoe looks like I've had it for like a year or two, or at least like 6 months. And there's like some really good wear on it, and I'm like, wow. 6'2" abs beating the Caps, nice. All right, Chicago power play. But I do appreciate all the information. Keep sending me stuff, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to get. There we go, just like that. There's a goal. Wow, that was quick. 4-2 Kraken. My goodness. But one thing that I am happy about, that I actually am at a point where I actually love and enjoy, the NHL, instead of us doing the NBA like we did last year and the year before, where it's like I'm not even really enjoying it, but it's like I got to work and I got to do the streams. So I'm never going to be at that point ever again where we just do something even if I don't like it. If I don't like something, I'm not going to do it. So, and I'm just glad that we have an alternative to the NBA, and then we'll also not only with NHL now, but then also MLB, even NASCAR over NBA. So it'll be nice that we'll have these other things that we can have so we don't have to do the NBA. I don't know if I will ever love the NBA anymore. I mean, it's just I don't know, man. It's like I'm just happy that we have other options when football is done. But I think it was a cool moment for us together during the season to be able to feed off each other, not only in fantasy, reflect, but also the way that we think, about the NFL, what we think about Tampa and Seattle, what we think about the Huskies and the Ducks, and trying to have our own opinion, but then to be able to understand who is good and who isn't, and actually understanding the league as a whole. Because again, for certain fans, if you only know your team and your players, you're going to be closed-minded. You have to be able to be open-minded to be able to understand that, yeah, there might be a guy on the opposing team, the rival, that you don't want to give credit to, but if you understand how great they are, it's just kind of silly not acknowledging the greatness when it's there. So, and I think that both of us are like that. It's like we're going to have our teams, but we're not dumb. We definitely acknowledge the greatness, and I think that's why we connect on a similar level, because I think we know the league's a little bit deeper than some of the other people, that are a part of the channel, and everyone's going to be on a different level of fanatic. Like the fanatics is going to be sports in general. There's going to be different levels of fandom for sure. Yeah, they're not going to take Penix, not with third pick. most people have them linked to Drake May, which they're going to need a hell of a lot more than just Drake May to make it work with Mayo. But again, you need O line, you need D line, you need defense, you need better running backs, better wide receivers, better tight end. Like you literally need a facelift for the whole team. So whoever you pick, it's not going to turn it around. But hopefully you can pick someone that you can root for, and like if you guys end up picking Drake May and it works out, then hopefully that'll be a jersey that the Pats fans will respect and that will go out of their way and want to purchase. So we'll see what they do. But I highly Penix won't be drafted in the like I said, realistically, it's going to be like Caleb Williams, Drake May, and positional players, offensive line, wide receiver, defense, that are going to be scattered in the first 10 picks. So if Patriots have third pick, they're either going to pick a Drake May or whatever quarterback they feel that is the best for them, or they're going to trade down and accumulate picks. And then maybe get a Penix Jr. later, with another offensive lineman if they feel that that's what they want to do. So I get a good picture of Nick with his goal. Schwartzy. Nick Foligno, assisted by Kurachev and Seth Jones, 4-2 Kraken. Yeah, and like I said, even though I liked rooting for the Lions when I was younger and the Niners, I feel I'm going to end up reading and doing more film study than anybody, and it just depends on if my hunches come true, based on what I see. But I just try to put myself in a position to be relevant, and I'm not going to be right about everything, but I feel that I'm going to have a good pulse, on what could happen. And let's be honest, I mean, a lot of the predictions that I do come up with do come true. It's not like I get one prediction a month. Oh, there's another goal, 5-2 Kraken. But again, having Montgomery there, I knew, certain things were going to pan out for that team. Now, did they go further this year than I ever dreamed? Of course, but I knew that they were going to be a playoff team that could end up winning the division. We already knew the Bears are in shambles. Packers, with Jordan Love, you didn't really know where that was going to go. So Minnesota definitely had injuries. We didn't see Kirk Cousins getting hurt, so obviously that left room for a team like Detroit to take advantage. But I watched a lot of Bears games and saw how impactful David Montgomery was. And when you lose guys like Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith, David Montgomery, and then they join another team, you kind of have an idea of what the identity is going to be. And then also seeing the development of Goff and Amon-Ra. And obviously, I already knew that defense was a dog shit besides Aiden Hutchinson, but you could see kind of the emergence of, Laporta and some of the other players. But again, they're still not good enough to win a Super Bowl, but they're definitely good enough to make the playoffs. And this will be the first year in about a 5-year run where hopefully for Detroit's case, they can make a Super Bowl. Because if they don't make it in 5 years, they're going to have to rebuild again. And it probably won't be Jared Goff. It'll be another quarterback. So for their sake, this is one opportunity, for the NFC Championship game. And hopefully they'll be able to get to at least one more and hopefully they'll have at least one Super Bowl appearance in the next 5 or 6 years. Because if they don't, they may not get there again. Like, everything goes in waves, just like with the Legion of Boom and the 49ers with Harbaugh and Kaepernick and Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis. You only have about 4 to 5 years before you have to rebuild and retool again. So Michael Penix Jr. is not a top 3 pick, and like I said, he had a good season, but a lot of these scouts, are going to be weary of drafting him because he had like 3 or 4 consecutive season-ending injuries, with high school and college. So when you end up having ACLs, MCLs, and you have, in the last 2 years, he's been relatively healthy. But if you go back to the previous 4, he had season-ending injuries every single year for like 4 years straight. So for him to overcome no one will question his intelligence. No one will, question his arm strength. If he can make the throws, it's really, can his body hold up to the NFL game? And some teams are going to be kind of, turned off by the injuries that he had, and that's the only thing that's going to prevent him from achieving superstardom in the NFL, is his body breaking down. So hopefully for his sake and for me and Reflect's sake, he'll stay healthy. But I would be very shocked if Michael Penix Jr. was the second quarterback taken off the board. More than likely, and that's probably good, because if you end up going at the top to like the Bears or the Patriots, the teams aren't very good, and you're going to struggle. If you end up going 10th, 12th, 15th, you might end up going to a team like Tampa or the Falcons or the Saints or Minnesota, where they may have a little bit more in play already. And Minnesota needs an O-line and a defense, but they got good weapons at running back, wide receiver, and tight end. So it's just like, being able to find a good match for the players. So. Well, USC didn't have a defense. I'm not, you're on the East Coast, so you probably didn't stay up late to watch a lot of the, Pac-12 games and whatnot. But, USC was hot early on just because of Caleb, because they were playing dog shit teams and they were putting up 50, 60 points. But then when they started playing teams actually that were in division, they were getting crushed because they couldn't stop anybody. So they could trade scores for a while with like teams like Oregon and Washington. But after a while, or if Caleb makes a mistake or the defense can't stop the run or the pass, then you start like looking up at the scoreboard. And instead of scoring 50, 60, 70 against some bullshit San Jose State, you start playing like the big dogs, and then you start getting crushed by 20 or 30. You're like, damn. So, I mean, every year is going to be a little bit different, but it all depends if people think that they would be a good NFL quarterback. But again, there's no guarantee that Caleb is going to pan out. There's no guarantee Drake May is going to pan out. We don't know about Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix, but chances are that those guys will be drafted later. And hell, if you want to pick J.J. McCarthy, go ahead. But I don't know if he'll be a good pro. To me, I wouldn't pick him. Like Caleb, Drake May, are they worth drafting? Yeah. Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix? Yeah. Jaden Daniels? Yeah. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. I got to be able to see what team Jaden Daniels from LSU and McCarthy go to, but I wouldn't draft those guys. There's other guys that I think I would go to. So New England has so many holes though for your team, Judah, that it's like no single quarterback is going to fix it. So it doesn't matter if you ended up trading up and getting Caleb number one. Like there, you don't have Belichick anymore. You got to improve the running backs, the wide receivers, the tight ends, the D-line, the linebackers, the secondary. Like you got Christian Gonzalez from Oregon, so you don't got to worry about that corner. But there are so many pieces that need to be fixed. So hopefully, and obviously Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi aren't it either. So picking a quarterback would be something that you think they would do, unless they decide to go for a free agent quarterback instead and get a quarterback in the draft the following year. So we'll see. Exactly. And they have a lot of people saying that they think they're going to pick McCarthy over Nix and Penix Jr. Fuck, go right ahead. You want to fucking blow a pick and waste a pick on a guy that seems like he's going to be mid or average or below average. That to me, McCarthy is the shittiest quarterback out of all the names. I wouldn't pick him at all. To me, like I wouldn't pick him in the first round. When I see McCarthy, that looks like more of a, second round, third round project quarterback, not a starter. You know what I mean? That's like a backup quarterback, and it's like a game manager. I don't think that he's going to be very good. But Caleb showed that he might be able to do something. Drake May, but Drake May also never really had a very good year. Josh Downs went to the NFL to the Colts the previous year, so there was a lot of games where Drake May, in the previous year, 4 touchdowns, 350 yards, no picks. Wow. But then this year, there was a lot of games of 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. And that's not very good on the college level when you're getting 2 touchdowns and 2 picks, and you're supposed to be the best quarterback in college or second best based off NFL scouts, So that's why I feel like, people are going to give Drake May some of that, like, oh, he's got the body, he's got the size, he's NFL ready. But that still doesn't mean that he'll be better than Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. if they slide down to a team that's a little bit better. Maybe you're going to have more success. So to get drafted high in this draft is not ideal. To get drafted 10 to 20, that's where you want to go, because then you might end up on a team like Tampa, the Saints, the Vikings. And if you go there, are they going to be, destined for greatness right away? No, but they're going to have a better chance to get going because the team's going to have a better supporting cast. So, yeah, but the way that Drake May played last season in college was not like, it wasn't good. So again, he might be NFL ready, but he didn't have a whole lot to work with. But also on top of that, he didn't look good last year. So I don't know. A lot of people are going to be like skipping on, Caleb, skipping on May. If you want to go for McCarthy, whatever, but I think a lot of people are going to be looking at Daniels, from LSU winning the Heisman. They're going to be looking at Bo Nix, and they're going to be looking at Michael Penix Jr. And I wouldn't argue with them. That's where I'm looking, so. Yeah, but there is going to be a little bit of panic, Matt, if you're a New England fan, because you already have gone past the Brady Gronk era. Now you've gone through the post-Brady era with Belichick, and that wasn't good. So now it's like, now you're starting over. Like you're basically a fan from the 80s and 90s with New England, and everything is like, you're starting off at the very, very bottom of the gutter, and you're trying to get back to, where you were. And you're never going to see Belichick Brady ever again. But I guess, Patriot fans still want to have like goals to be a wild card team and get 10 wins and 7 losses sooner than later. I mean, even if it takes 5 years, at least that's 5 years. They don't want to think about that taking 15, but if they don't get the pieces lined up, it may take that long, 10 to 15 years before we get a 10-7 year out of New England. But New England fans want a 10-7 wild card year within 5. Some of them want it right now, but it's not realistic. So, but again, some of the guys, if they, especially if they have attitude issues or if they think they're bigger than the team, Caleb or Drake May, maybe more rated higher than they should be, based on how they played. Now, if Drake May ended up going for 60 touchdowns and 8 picks and 5,000 yards on North Carolina, then I'm saying, oh, okay. But he wasn't good. I watched a lot of his games, and I checked his stats every week. A lot of shitty games, for a guy that's supposed to be the franchise guy. And remember, it was just a couple years ago where we had Trevor Lawrence, right? Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones. And now looking back, how many of those guys are good? 1. When we thought, oh, maybe we're going to have 5 franchise quarterbacks. You got 1. And then you got another one who we all like, but we are already kind of know in Justin Fields, he's limited. He's more of a runner than a thrower, and he ain't anywhere near C.J. Stroud. So it's like Justin Fields will probably never be a top 10 quarterback. But if you want to, put butts in the seats and maybe Justin Fields goes to Atlanta and they end up getting a coach there, then maybe you can turn him into a player that is average to above average. But I don't think you're ever going to see Justin Fields as elite. And even Trevor Lawrence sometimes looks shitty. So as you're looking at the quarterbacks, just because you have some doesn't mean that even if Trevor Lawrence is the best one, who would you want? Trevor Lawrence or CJ Stroud? CJ Stroud. I mean, there's no question. I don't think there's anybody that would want Trevor over CJ, based on what you've seen. So, you know what I mean? So even though that Trevor is the franchise guy there, even him, like Herbert and Allen, they seem like they have limitations. Is Josh Allen Philip Rivers? Maybe. Is Trevor Lawrence just a glorified, Philip Rivers type? Big Ben type? Maybe. You know, Sometimes you got to accept what the quarterbacks are, that they're not going to be Brady and Peyton Manning 2.0. They're going to be a version of another quarterback that maybe didn't have as much success. So, and it's been getting worse each year, right? But if you end up getting a quarterback that you guys believe in, after Brady, like if Drake May ends up being like CJ Stroud and it ends up being a top 10, top 12 quarterback, then you can live with the losses of getting 5 wins, then 7 wins, then 8, then 9, then 10. If it takes that long, but you got a quarterback that you believe in, that'll put butts in the seats and that'll make New England games a little bit more watchable. But if you end up drafting Drake May and Mayo fucks everything up and you don't improve the running backs or the line or the defense, then it's just going to be like Mac Jones all over again and a wasted pick. So, Russ is gone, Matt. You already know that. Come on now. You follow football just like all of us. He's not going to be there. If they were smart, they would, go for Bo Nix in Denver. That would be the best fit for Bo, because he's going to need supporting cast and he needs a coach to mentor him. And he's already an adult. He's not a boy. You know what I mean? But he needs help. So, and what Bo would need most is a good coach to mentor him. And the best spot for Bo is Denver. Because of Sean Payton, to be able to develop somebody. That's my opinion. And then obviously, I would love Michael Penix Jr. to go to either the Bucks, but if we got Baker, that's not going to be realistic. So I'd like to see Michael Penix Jr. rock the purple in Minnesota, but they have a shitty O-line. So they better draft a couple O-linemen with Michael Penix Jr. and address it in free agency. And as long as I don't see that shitty Minnesota Viking O-line this year with Michael Penix Jr., I think that would be the most exciting piece for him to go there. It would make Vikings games must-see TV. Michael Penix Jr., 50-yard bomb, Jay Jetta. Right? Oh, the Michael Penix Jr. play action, TJ Hawkinson touchdown. I mean, it'd be sexy. Like Michael Penix Jr. would be like that Tua in the NFC, what that we all want. And that would make it really sexy and interesting. But again, for Michael Penix Jr. to be worthwhile for that organization, they need to develop an O-line there, because that O-line they got is fucking terrible. And no matter who you put back there on Minnesota, Caleb, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, McCarthy, Penix, Nix, they're going to fucking fail if they don't improve that. And I don't want to see anyone fail go to Minnesota at quarterback. Tomas Tata with the goal, baby. 5-2 Kraken from a few minutes ago. You get a Tata photo. Mollywopping this team, which we should. I mean, Chicago's dog shit. And they don't got Bedard. If you can't beat a team like this, you don't even deserve to make the playoffs. All right, less than 7 minutes to go in the third. 26 shots on goal, 5 goals for the Kraken. What a percentage. I got to look up what that percentage is. Wow, 19% of the shots are going in. I like that. Yeah, but Russ did have a good year last year, with all things considered, compared to the year previously when he was injured. But still, too much of a kind of a head case. He's bigger than the team. Him and Sierra living in their mansions. It's like almost like a false sense of reality. So, it's fine. Seattle moved on, which was the right move. You got Gino. You'll be looking for another quarterback in this draft, most likely.
and then the new regime can, move on. You got everyone needed everyone to be able to win, together. You needed Pete, you needed Russ, you needed Marshawn, you needed Doug Baldwin, you needed the Legion of Boom. And if you want to act, any other way and think that it would have been able to be done if you weren't able to have one of those pieces, we all know as fans in the Pacific Northwest, regardless if we like guys or don't like guys, everyone needed to be together, right, to make that happen. But again, to get rid of Russ when they did was perfect. And, they need to be able to move on from Russ now. And obviously, once you move on from Russ from Denver, he's going to get to a point where he's just going to be a backup. And then he's just going to have to retire because no one's going to want him as a starting quarterback, which I don't blame him. It's just the reality. He's going to get to a point where he's going to be like a Marcus Mariota, where you're only going to be a backup here, backup there, and then eventually out of the league. So, yeah. Well, I'm just saying compared to the previous year, you know, it's like obviously Denver didn't make the playoffs, you know what I mean? But he did have a good connection with Cortland Sutton, so at least he had something going there. Obviously I wouldn't want him for my team and whatnot, but I'm just saying compared to the previous year, his stat line was better. Him and Baker actually had better stats at the end of the day. Touchdown to interception ratio, just that stat, that was better than anyone ever anticipated. Russ lovers, Russ haters, Baker lovers, Baker haters. If you look at the end of the day, their touchdown to interception. Now, completion percentage and everything else needed to be improved from the 20 to the 20, the fumbles and other things. But I think as far as touchdown to interception ratio, both did better than I think anyone dreamed of. But one team made the playoffs, the Bucks, and one did not. So, but I wouldn't want Russ on my team. That motherfucker is a cancer. That's just a locker room headache. You know, I don't know, man. Your infatuation with Taylor is I mean, I don't know, man. You gotta find another one. You gotta find yourself another one, man. She's taking over your life. All the brainwashing on the TV. She's brainwashed your brain, bro. You gotta find yourself. I mean, there's gotta be plenty of beautiful ladies there in Hawaii, my guy. I guarantee there's more attractive ladies in Hawaii than Taylor Swift. And to be very honest, I don't listen to her music. I actually listened to a couple things that she had. She's really not that good. Like I was listening to her voice. Like I get it, she's got this rabid fan base and everything, but vocally, she's not that good, bro. Like she's kind of overrated. It's like I get it. You've built yourself this Swifty fan base and everything like that. But as far as her, I understand that she has the energy to be able to sing her songs and go for 3 hour sets and be dancing and exercising along the way. Fine, she's a rock star with that, right? But as far as vocally, I'm not impressed. Voice is kind of shitty, from at least the stuff that I've heard. And it's one thing if you're in a studio, that's one thing, but if you're actually doing concerts and and you're on the mic, and at least she doesn't lip sync. But I'm not impressed with her voice. Voice doesn't sound very good to me. Like I'm not going out of my way to listen to that, bro. You got to find yourself a Hawaiian beauty, bro. You live in Hawaii, you can't take that for granted. No, no coach in Seattle yet. Not yet. But hopefully it ends up being Slovic or Johnson. So I think a lot of people get triggered by Russ, man. But at least you don't got to worry about it anymore. What's done is done. You went through the best years, all together and got the job done. Should have gotten two, but got one, and then now you get to move on and, not have to worry about that drama in the locker room anymore. So now I just try to keep it non-biased. I just try to, stats, are stats and, obviously our personal feelings, we'll definitely get in our own feelings. There we go. There's another goal, baby. Yeah, ta-ta again. Let's go. No, but like I said, it's not often that you have like kind of a cancerous type of player that's so elite, that gets the fan base triggered or angry, on both sides and whatnot. So, but at least you don't have him. I mean, imagine if the Seahawks never got rid of him and you still have him there, there would be a lot more anger and frustration. So at least think of it that way. At least you don't have him anymore. Let's go Kraken. Tata, baby. Electric with another goal. That's good for my mental health, baby. We're killing it, man. Bowie, how do you like that? You like it? You like it, Bowie? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Swing that towel. Defend the deep. Drop the anchor. Kraken. 6-2. Seattle. You escaped barely, yeah. I'm excited to see the next transition for a lot of the teams too. With me, with Baker, it's like I know that he had a good year, but I just don't know if Baker is good enough to get to an NFC championship game and win it or get to a Super Bowl and win it. It's like I got to be able to re-sign Mike Evans. That has to be a priority, but I still want to be able to draft a quarterback this year or next year. And I highly doubt they're going to draft one this year because they're just going to give Baker money. And Trask isn't good enough as the backup, but I don't know. I guess that's just what I'm stuck with. And I do like Baker, but it's just, I feel like he's capped out. Like he's only going to get you so far, and the NFC South is terrible. Yeah, but Antoine Winfield Jr. is a priority, but we're going to franchise tag him. That's 100%. And we're going to give Evans money, and hopefully we bring both of those guys back because those are the, if Devin White wants to dip, we're not going to re-sign him. He'll be gone and be on the Eagles or somewhere else. But Antoine Winfield Jr., Tristan Wirfs, when that time comes, and then definitely Mike Evans retiring a Buccaneer is a priority. Cannot let him go. So that way, at least that Baker Mayfield staying as the quarterback, and I'll still be irritated a little, but maybe then we can look at Arch Manning or Quinn Ewers the following year and look in that direction. So less than 2 minutes to go. 6-2 Kraken. Yeah, they were talking about CJ McCollum and Dame Dalla investing in the Blazers and having ownership there, which I thought that was a little odd. You know what I mean? I know they have good ties here in Oregon, and I know CJ McCollum has got his wine business, with the vineyards and whatnot, and they still have strong ties here to the Pacific Northwest. But I'm not sure, what kind of money that they would be both willing to invest. I mean, they have millions and millions and millions of dollars, but I mean, what kind of ownership would CJ and Dame be able to afford? And like, what direction would the Blazers go? If that were to happen. Interesting things to think about. Seattle by 3.5. That's an aggressive bet. Most of the time, Seattle doesn't get to 6 goals, so that's cashing in, man. They got to win by 4 for you to win. And I don't know. There's not very many opportunities where the Kraken are going to get 6 goals, but today was one of them, and I'll take it. There we go. There's the final 6-2 Kraken. Let's go. Yes, baby. Yes, baby. Let's go. Bowie likes it. Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Like I said, smash the like button if you can. Shout out to all the people that came through and donated, obviously to the shoe fund, as well as just supporting me and Paisley on the channel. Reflect and Megan, you guys are MVPs. I wish we had more people like you know, supporting the channel, and you guys have definitely stepped up for the other people that have disappeared. And I really appreciate that because, like I said, if I didn't have the two of you, I don't know where I would be right now. So we'll be doing the Devils and the Hurricanes tomorrow at 4:30. Then we're going to do the Blues and the Kraken on Friday at 7 p.m. And then we'll do the WWE pay-per-view on Saturday. And what time does the pay-per-view start on Saturday, Sarah? 5? WWE Royal Rumble in St. Petersburg, Florida. Royal Rumble is always one of the best pay-per-views all year. You know, and obviously once you get into Royal Rumble at the beginning of the year, that goes to Elimination Chamber and then WrestleMania, baby. Let's go. I'm excited. All right. Well, anything else that Reflect or Megan that you guys want to see for the people that donated? I'll just go through some of the photos that we have. There's Bowie out there on the ice, but I do appreciate you guys very, very much for your support. I'm going to go take Paisley on a long 45-minute walk and eat some dinner. And congratulations to the Seattle Kraken for whooping that ass. I love it. No Connor Bedard, so, I mean, we should have won. And we got some good production, right? Some good, solid production. You know, Jared McCann starting it off, right? Then we went into Jaden Schwartz after that, which obviously I love to be able to see. Then we ended up going to Alex Wenberg, which we thought obviously Andre got credit for the goal, but Wenberg did, right? So we love that. Then we went to Turbo, my guy. Throw the gloves down, beat someone's ass if he needs to. Great photo there. And then we doubled up with a double dip of tartar sauce with Tomas Tata getting the last 2 goals to make it 5-2 and 6-2. Awesome. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Shout out to all the people on Twitter/X, that ended up watching the stream. I appreciate you. Shout out to Reflect and Megan for being MVPs. Love you. Sarah, always doing a great job with the modding. John in the building, Matt in the building, Go Ducks. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Well, you don't talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. I love you guys, and I appreciate you, and I'm out. Bye.